My name is Anne and I live in Coogee in New South Wales. I am a sole parent and I have 3 children and I am self-employed. I have my own business. I'm just constantly astounded by people I talk to who I consider to be, pretty smart, switched on people that seem to be able to manage every other part of their lives apart from their finances. I think people have a lot of fear and shame around how they manage their money, and so that's why it's really important to go and consult the experts. I wouldn't go and try and fix my own car. I wouldn't try and go and fix my own teeth. I'd go and see a mechanic or a dentist. So why on earth would I try to manage my finances? If you'd asked me 10 years ago what my aspirations were, I don't think they would have been much different from most other people, and that was probably to build a financially secure future for my family so that my husband and I could spend time with our children, give them a great education, pay off our mortgage, go for a few holidays, and then hopefully when we retired be comfortable so that we could enjoy it. But life has a habit of throwing you curveballs, and the biggest curveball that I got at that time was 8 years ago. My husband died suddenly and unexpectedly, which left me widowed with 3 young children, and that obviously was it was massively devastating for us as a family.
Look, I had the privilege of meeting Anne several years ago. She was in a position where her husband had unfortunately died 8 years previously, and she was very anxious really about her financial affairs, and she's ran a small business. She was a sole parent of 3 teenage or young daughters at the time, so it was so important for her to ensure that her financial security was there. What we find very often is the fact that clients not only insure their house and their car, but they don't insure their most valuable asset. Their most valuable asset is themselves, their capacity and propensity to work to earn a living.
It was really easy to continue working with Chris once he took over the business. The thing that I really loved about him was that he brought a really great balance of being professional but also incredibly personable. As he said, you've insured your house, you've insured your car. We need to make sure that you're really well insured as well. And while I did have superannuation, and with that there were some policies associated with that, and I did have some more income protection, Chris looked at it and he felt that maybe I wasn't covered enough. And so being able to have somebody who is not only runs his own small business, but is also a parent himself, for him to be able to have that real empathy with my situation, to know what it would be, to perhaps visualise and put himself in my shoes about what it would be like if suddenly he wasn't able to have an income to support his family.
Our role in life is to ensure that our clients have got a strong financial strategy in place and that their goals and aspirations are met. And we meet with them periodically to ensure this happens. As my wife says to me all the time, "Chris, I just want to know that you've got my back." And that's what we do here at Capital Counts.
Unfortunately, it was actually 9 months ago the unthinkable happened, and I was suddenly and unexpectedly diagnosed with breast cancer. It was yet another trauma that my family had to go through on an emotional level. Even though a lot of my treatment is covered through Medicare and health insurance, having cancer is a very expensive illness to have. There are treatments that you have to see specialists, and to know that I had that nest egg, those extra funds there that I could draw on, took such a level of worry off me.
Proposition here is with clients is to actually take that anxiousness away so that they can get on and do what they can in life. And I have to say with Anne, every time she came into the office, every time I caught up with her for a coffee, she's always smiling, always putting on a brave face.
What was really wonderful through all this was that Chris was just a very lovely presence to have in my life. He kept checking in, not only to see how I was going physically and how the girls were, he was also checking in just to see how we were going financially. You never feel like you're a number when you're working with Chris. He absolutely takes the time, and even after hours, especially when I was unwell, just to check in and see how I was going, how my girls were going. It was really comforting. Chris is completely committed to making sure that he gets the best outcomes for me, and so I couldn't think of anything better than to come and see Chris.
A financial advisor builds very, very strong relationships with their clients. Through the good, the bad and the ugly in their lives, their personal lives, their financial lives, we're with them typically every step of the way.